Alright, welcome to part 2 of What If Deku Was a Demon Lord. Now, I do not know where I last left off, and I did not check where I last left off. But I do remember something about Deku being the age of 12, I believe. Now, I want to say 2 years passed and Deku was 14. Now, Deku's friend, Michael, who I forgot the last name too. Yes, him, blonde hair, golden eyes. Michael, what's his last name? Whatever, it don't matter. Michael is taking the entrance exams. His family was rich, what was his last name? I'm gonna find out. In the next part, I'm gonna find out his last name and I'm gonna tell it to you. So Michael is taking the entrance exams. He's taking a recommendation because his family is rich. So he gets a recommendation, so he takes it. And his quirk, he still has the sword that only can, the only sword that can actually cut Deku or Merlin or Lucifer, whatever you want to call him. First name Merlin, last name Lucifer. He got that sword still, but he also has his magic. His holy magic. That basically he has a lot of attacks with it, and basically light, and his fire and water magic. And Deku, he has a lot of magic, but his basic magic is demonic magic or demon magic. It's opposite of light magic. Dark magic, basically. And he has fire, lightning, and water. And along with his sword. Now, Michael is actually pretty strong. And he does pretty well on the recommendation. Now, nothing happened to Uraka in this one. All Might actually gets in there. He stops the robot before, Uraka could get killed. And, Uraka gets healed by Recovery Girl and she leaves. After a while from, basically having her stamina basically be drained from healing herself. Now, let's talk about Bakugo. Since Deku wasn't there to challenge his authority, he basically still got the arrogant side of him, but it's even greater since no one challenged him. No one was a threat to him. And because of that, he slacked off. He didn't try to be the craziest, he didn't try to, flex his power. Well, he did flex his power all the time, but he didn't do most things he did in Canon. Like in Canon, he actually trained, in secret. He did things in secret. He don't study that much, but he's still, averagely smarter than most people would be, but only a little bit. And, he don't train his body much, so his body isn't that, tough, but, he had to basically, because of his quirk, his body had to get to a point where it had to be, basically built up for him to use it. His bones are, still, weak and stuff like that because of his quirk constantly sending vibrations through them. And Bakugo knows of Izuku, but he don't know him because, he asked Inko if she had a son, and Inko said she did have a son, she didn't name him. And she says that, her son had white hair and purple eyes. And, she explains some more that the kid didn't look like either her or her husband at the time. which was, strange. And basically, her husband left her because of that fact that, he thought that she cheated on him, but, that wasn't the truth. They even got a DNA test and, seen that the baby was actually his, but, he had already left at that time. So Bakugo knows that, Inko had a son, and that he don't know that she gave him up. He just know that Inko had a son. And Bakugo asks what happened to him, and Inko says she doesn't know. So, Inko doesn't know that Deku is a villain, basically. Well, actually, no, she do. Because of the news, what happened to the other 4 kids when Deku's friend basically, basically took the easy way out to end this pain and suffering. What Deku did to them, basically set them all down, put them 6 feet under, and then disappeared. Now, Michael gets to school on the first day. After he got first place, and Bakugo was a little bit angry because he didn't get first, thinking he should be better than everyone. But actually, no, he didn't take the exams. No, Bakugo got first place, so his ego is boosted even more. Now, Michael gets there. He's a little bit early. Isn't late. He early. And most of the girls look at him because, blonde hair, golden eyes. As he sits down and, he's just waiting. As he does have his sword with him. He keeps it with him all the time. No matter where he goes, he always keeps his sword. And his sword just looks like a regular holy sword would look. It's not that big, it's like an average sword, size, but, it's special. And, the sword is only connected to him, and it will only, unsheath itself to only him. It's not the fact that people can't pull it out. It's just, it's like people, they're not allowed to pull it out. Like the sword won't let it pull out because they're not him. It's not the fact that they're worthy or not. It's just that, the sword recognizes, Michael as his master. So, UA days go like candy a little bit. Except Deku's not there and it's Michael. So, either still yelling at Bakugo for having his feet on the desk. Bakugo is just annoying. Either, they're yelling back at each other. Either, after a while, Rocker comes in, she sits down because no one saved her as like a canon. Azal gets up and says, everyone shut up and sit down. I am a little sleepy because I did go to sleep, but I woke right back up. So I'm a little bit tired, so just wanted to record for you guys. And since I, says, took you guys, such and such seconds, like 30 seconds or so, to shut up and be quiet. Shut up and be quiet. To basically shut up, that won't do it all. As he pulls out the sports uniforms, says, put these on, and go outside. He asks, what about orientation? Aizawa says, you don't need orientation. This is a hero school. That's not important. As he leaves, and shortly after a while, Michael was the first person to leave, and other people follow behind. But he had such a head start that he actually was already getting changed. Put his sword down and, start changing. Now, in the locker room, other people came in, they see, Michael's body, he's actually pretty fit, and they see his sword. That's what the sword is for. He just said he always keeps it with him, And basically, it's a mental. It's basically something that I need to carry with me in case I meet a specific someone. Like I said, I am sleepy, so I won't be pronouncing words right. And I might doze off soon. I don't know when. It says, you could just say that I knew this person in a previous life, and he's not a good person. And I need this to basically, protect, not protect. I need this to basically show that I am here. They don't know what he means, just says, I forget it. As he leaves, Mineta still gets poked in the eye by Jiro. Because, Michael left before, Mineta start perving out. He's on the field, he's just waiting for everyone else. He still got a sword on his side, And no one really says anything about his sword, with teachers. And, Nezu don't say anything because Nezu basically heard from his family that he needs it. And, basically explained to Nezu that he said that in the previous life he knew someone that had a different sword from him, and that they used to be friends, but then they turned enemies because, he thought, his friend thought that he betrayed him for some reason. And it's not the fact that, Michael actually betrayed him. Michael didn't betray Deku, but it's like he did. Because, Deku already knew Michael was working for the church, But, Deku didn't have a problem with that. Now, that was when Deku was younger, before he became actually a Demon King. But when Deku actually became the Demon King, before he actually started terrorizing people, hurting people, causing any trouble to, humans, he didn't do any of that. He basically wanted to just observe them to see if they would try anything, see if they would actually change from what he remembered back in his days, but it seemed that they never changed. And the church, fearing for this new Demon King, they sent Michael to kill him, to basically take him down. And when Michael gets there, he sees Deku. And, Michael says, Merlin, why are you here? As, Merlin says, my friend, Michael. So, the church has sent you to kill me. I should have known this day would happen. My friend, you have betrayed me. I think I'm hungry. My stomach is growling. But I'm okay. I'm going to ease through this pain. I'll eat something later. My friend, we cannot be friends anymore. I'm sorry. From now on, you are my enemy. Hero, Michael. As Michael is, somewhat crying from this, but he, gets up his resolve and he fights Deku. That was one of their first fights. Before he actually got the blade made out of Deku's blood from the gods. There was many more fights to come after that. And then, he got the blade made out of Deku's blood, and then, actually killed Deku, and Deku killed him. Michael's remembering all that right now while he's sitting on that field, or standing there. And as I was just looking at him, as I was seeing his eyes, those are not the eyes of a teenage boy. Those are the eyes of someone who's experienced battle, someone who's watched friends die, someone who's seen a lot of things. And he's wondering, why does a kid have those eyes? I think I'm about to eat something soon. I'm sorry for all my movement. I hate the sound of my bed too. Okay. And windows get outside and the girls see who was actually peeking from, whoever holding their eye, and they see Bonetta, so they stomp him out. So Aizawa, starts the test. Since Michael didn't actually get first, since he didn't take the actual exam, he took the recommendation. Bakugo goes first and he throws. He gets the same. No, he actually gets a little bit less than the cannon. Yeah, he get a little bit less than cannon. I think his score in cannon was 700 something. So he get a little bit less than what he actually did. Because then he has someone to test his quirk out on every time. Now everyone else throws and they get sent like a cannon, and the rocket still gets infinity. Now when Michael throws, he says, alright, I'm just gonna use a little bit of my strength to not basically stand out, as he says, falling star, as he throws the ball. And the ball goes far and he gets 1,000 meters. Not trying to get infinity. They say, oh, that's cool. Light. He can use light. That's his quirk, lightness. Whatever. Lightness, that'll make sense. Now, we switch over to Deku. Now, Deku's trained his, body like he did as when he was a demon lord. As he has the same body he had, his same unbreakable body that can't be cut by any blade except for the one blade that was made from his blood. Now, many villains know Deku, that he's very famous for killing villains and corrupt heroes, but many villains read him as someone that basically kills villains that basically step on his territory and to basically stabilize himself and killing heroes because he is basically just a villain. So Shigaraki is going to try to get in contact with Deku, but right now he doesn't know who he's at. And you guys are going to see what I do to Shigaraki when he actually meet Deku. Now, the rest of the exams on, as always, exams go similar to canon, but, Michael is, keeping himself around low levels of strength to not stand out too much, but he's, still got to show off a little bit. As he showed himself to be better than Bakugo, and, Todoroki showed himself to be better than Bakugo, and Michael is better than Todoroki, which Todoroki don't like that someone is actually better than him. And Todoroki thinks that he's better than Michael is just weak. But that's not the case. As Bakugo tries to rush Michael to basically take him down because, he got first place, but, Aizawa stops his quirk. And before Bakugo can even touch, Michael extended his hand and tapped Bakugo's head with his finger, and, Bakugo basically passed out. Everyone was wondering what just happened, but, Michael still got those. He just had, blank face on, and he just started walking. As I was also wondering what happened. All Might also wondered what happened because he was just watching. And I don't... Who should I give one for all to? Actually, no. All Might didn't choose anyone yet. I'm going to say All Might didn't choose anyone yet. Keep that in mind. Yet. He's trying to see who he's going to choose. He's thinking about giving it to Michael, but he don't know. Because he thinks Miyo is a really good candidate. I can't say the word right now. Too sleepy. As you know, Michael just goes inside and Aizawa checks on Bakugo. He sees Bakugo isn't hurt, but he's just passed out. As he's thinking, who is that kid? And why did every time I look into his eyes, I see someone that's been through a lot of pain? Now, they tell Michael to stay back after school and, go to the principal's office as he does. Goes to the principal's office, he sees Nezu, All Might, and Aizawa. Aizawa starts speaking before All Might or Nezu can. He says, "Kid, I want to know something. Every time I look into your eyes, I can feel, this pain from looking into your eyes. Like, every time I look in your eyes, I see the eyes of someone that's experienced, a veteran in fighting, and someone that's lost a lot. Can you explain to me what it is?" As, Michael basically sighs and says, "Fine, I shall explain to you. Only because you're my teachers." Now, his name in, My Hero World is different from, his other world, but I'm just calling Michael because it's something easier for me to remember. Because I don't want to make up a whole nother name for him and forget that, like I did with his last name. So he says to Aizawa, All Might and Nezu, that he is basically someone that has been reincarnated. They don't know what he means, but he just keep on going. He says that he, back in his old world, was a hero. Not just any hero, he was the best hero. I was hero Michael, and I worked for the church. Now, in my world, I used to have a best friend. His name was Merlin. They say, Merlin, isn't that the name of the great wizard? He says, in your world, he's a great wizard, but in mine, he was the demon lord. Merlin Lucifer. We used to be friends before he became the demon lord. And he wasn't really evil, per se. Because when he first became a demon lord, he didn't attack anyone. He went months, even a year, without attacking any humans, without showing any signs of attacking or anything. But he did resent humans for one reason: the way he grew up. Merlin grew up very harshly, being beaten every day, nearly killed every day, being betrayed by his friend that he used to have, this female who sold him out and basically told, some people where he was, and they basically kidnapped him and tortured him, but he escaped and killed every single last one of them. Except for his friend, because of pity, because he knew her. But he did take her eye. He slashed it out. He put a curse on her. On every day, the day that he got kidnapped and tortured, she would feel the pain in her eye. And she would bear the nightmares on that same day. They say, "Can you describe what this person looked like?" As he says, "Sure, why not?" Merlin Lucifer. Long white hair and purple eyes, with a sword that you guys call katanas. They think that's, perfect example of, that, the villain that's been killing heroes and villains alike. as they say, Nezzy pulls up a picture and says, "Is this him?" As as I forgot his name already. Oh yeah, Michael. As Michael says, "Yes, that's him." They say, "So he's here too." He says, "Yes." And he's a villain. He says, "Yes." But why did he become a villain? Michael says, "Well, from what I heard and basically found from my research, he was an orphan. No, he had no family, nobody. In the orphanage, he was picked on, bullied. At school, he was also picked on and bullied at school. But the bullies, he never did anything to them. He never fought back. I guess that was him trying to reconcile from his sins of what he did in his previous world, thinking that things would change for him. That's only what I'm thinking. But he did have one friend. But sadly, that friend ended his life because of those bullies, because he couldn't take all the pain. And he shows a video of what happened. The security cameras. They basically put them all in every classroom, hidden cameras. It shows everything that Deku did. He explains, "Do you see what he's doing right now?" I says, "Yeah, he's sharpening a pencil." He says, "Exactly." And then he, basically Deku takes out the pencil. He pokes his finger and, blood comes out. They say, "What is he doing?" He says, "He's sharpening a pencil to the point where it's razor sharp, where he could just tap his finger on it and cut himself." And the reason he's doing that is because of this, as he shows him getting up, walking over to the main bully, stabbing him through the hand with the pencil, and then kicking him in the face. And then, the events that happened in part 1 happen, as they basically shocked from this. They see Deku single-handedly take down all these bullies and then, basically murder them without second thought, without hesitation. Now, they thinking that they need to take this person in right now. They need to find him and take him in. But, Michael says that won't be possible. Even if all the heroes would have come together, they wouldn't even be able to pierce his skin. They said, "What do you mean?" As he explains, Merlin's skin cannot be pierced by anything except for this, as he shows his sword. He says this sword is made out of Merlin's blood. That's the only reason it can pierce through it. If it wasn't, then Merlin would have still been alive in its old world. Well, I think that's all the information you guys need from me. I shall be leaving now, as he opens the door and he walks away. Nezu, All Might, and Aizawa are shocked from hearing this. But they just go about their day. Now I'm going to try to get past the hero versus villains, because I'm really hungry. I got to eat something soon, because my stomach going to start growling, and it's aggravating. Now, the next day happens, everyone comes to class. All Might, comes to the door saying, "I am here," walks to the door like a normal person. He then says, today we're going to be doing hero versus villains. He explains what that is. He says to be a hero, you not only got to act the part, but you got to look the part. As he brings out everyone's hero gear. As everyone gets changed into their hero gear, and basically Alma says, you always look like heroes. So let's get started. As the teams are the same as in canons, because I want to change anything up. And besides, not doing good right now. I need to sleep and I need to eat. So Michael and Raka goes to the building. It's still Bakugo and Ida. So Michael and Raka goes in. Michael, from what he can tell of Bakugo, is hot-headed and he doesn't really think on strategies all that much. As he was right, this when Bakugo comes around the corner and goes through an explosion at Michael. He does so, but Michael puts his hand up and says, "Water shot." As water comes out of his hand and it hits the explosion, evaporating, erasing the explosion. He then, points his hand and says, water stream. As a continuous stream of water comes out and it keeps hitting Bakugo. Everyone is shocked that Deku has 2 quirks. All Might is also shocked. Deku then says, well, that is not enough. As he points his finger and says, fire bullet. As a couple of fireballs, small fireballs come out his finger and his Bakugo's, but it don't harm him too much. And Todoroki is a little bit, angry because Deku has fire, water, fire, and light. He then, rushes over to Bakugo, running on a wall, and jumps off the wall and kicks Bakugo, knocking him out. They then, go up the stairs. Deku already knows that, the bomb is on the top floor, so he, rushes up there. When he opens the door, Ida sees him and says, "Haha, hero. I will not let you up." As Ida can't move and he just sees the ground getting close and close to his face. As everything goes black. As Michael touched the bomb. And Alma says, hero team wins. Now, what Michael did was he used the technique to basically flash past Ida and basically chop him in the back of the neck. And he was falling down, and that's why he saw the floor getting closer and closer, then everything went dark. Now Bakugo gets taken to the nurse because he does have some injuries, and so does Ida, but Ida is, for the most part, is fine. Now this one gonna lead us off. I'm sorry that I couldn't make it longer, but like I said, I'm sleepy and I'm hungry and I'm tired of my stomach growling. It's very aggravating. Goodbye. See y'all later.